Hi guys, Marcus here and welcome to Chinese Entertainment Update January 24th, 2023. I release episodes every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday between 7 and 10 p.m. Pacific Time. This is episode 640, and the rundown with timestamps is in the description box below. Now because I use Chinese names quite a bit on my show, if you want the English spelling of them, you can turn on subtitles. I create them myself. In today's episode, Wulin Heroes with Li Hongyi and Huang Riying announces its premiere date. Andy Lau says he downs over 20 cups of coffee a day. Xian says he wants to open up a coffee shop in Dali one day. And my final thoughts on Flight to You with Wang Kai and 710. But first, here's what's recently premiered, one drama for today and yesterday. Turn on the Right Way of Life is a modern drama starring Huang Po and Mei Ting. It premiered earlier today. In the drama, Huang Po plays a sales manager who turns 40 and finds that his family is in a crisis. He feels confused and powerless and struggles as he tries to reconcile with his wife, played by Mei Ting, and his children and friends. Turn on the Right Way of Life is slated for 40 episodes and is available on YouTube with English subs. And that's it for recently premiered dramas. Moving on, dramas that recently announced their premiere dates. I have just one to update on, a costume drama called Wulin Heroes. Wulin Heroes stars Li Hongyi and Huang Riying. Yesterday, they announced a January 29th premiere date. Li Hongyi is just coming off The Blood of Youth, which had a terrific run and aired the last of its 40 episodes on January 19th, less than a week ago. Those of you getting withdrawals of costume drama starring Li Hongyi can indulge yourself with Wulin Heroes. Huang Riying, on the other hand, her last drama to air was 2021's Crimea River of Stars, also a costume drama. She didn't have any dramas air all last year. Wulin Heroes follows Huang Riying's character, a kind-hearted and good-natured girl who aspires to be the pugilistic hero of her generation and help the weak. Despite repeated failures, she soldiers on and believes that one day she will succeed. She meets a divine doctor who silently protects her and uses his medical skills to treat people who have been bewitched. Wulin Heroes is slated for 24 episodes and will stream on Youku. I will update again on where to watch with English subs, if available, after it premieres. Next up, dramas that recently passed review. I have just one to update on. 蓝龟喜事, literally translated as Joyous Event in the Boudoir, is a costume drama starring Liu Ling and Jackie Lee. It passed review and obtained an online record number on January 18th. The drama follows Liu Ling's character, a widow of 18 years. In an effort to marry her 4 daughters into good families, she buys a house in the capital, but things don't work out as hoped. Her 4 daughters are played by Jackie Lee, Wu Jiayi, Han Yunyun, and Li Jiaqi. Joyous Event in the Boudoir is slated for 24 episodes and will stream on Tencent. And that's it for drama updates. Moving on, film updates. Chinese movies are doing big business at the box office. According to data from Taopiaopiao, as of January 23rd, total tickets sold at the box office have exceeded 2 billion RMB, approximately 300 million USD. Its top 3 performers have been at number 1 with around 97 million USD, The Wandering Earth 2 starring Andy Lau and Wu Jing. Number 2 with around 90 million USD, Full River Red, the Zhang Yimou directed historical suspense comedy starring Shen Teng and Jackson Yi. And number 3 with around 33 million USD, The Hidden Blade starring Tony Leung and Wang Yibo. Not unlike its prequel, The Wandering Earth 2 continues to score big at the box office. The genre's never really tickled my fancy though. I've never really been into sci-fi, especially if it's set in space. In fact, I gave The Wandering Earth 1 a shot but never ended up finishing it. But it's undeniably something that many people enjoy, considering its box office performance and how people are rating it quite highly. It recently got its opening Douban rating, an average score of 8.3 from over 103,000 ratings. If anything, I'd more likely check out Full River Red, the second biggest moneymaker this Lunar New Year. It got an average score of 8.0 from around 99,000 ratings. Problem is, it's not playing anywhere near me, so I'll just have to wait for it to be available online. Same with The Hidden Blade. It's not at a theater near me as I'd hoped, so I'm gonna have to wait till it drops online as well. The Hidden Blade hasn't got its opening Douban rating yet. Alright, moving on now, celebrity updates, and today we begin with one of the stars of The Wandering Earth 2, Andy Lau. Here's a recent 8 Days article by Ilsa Chan titled, Andy Lau, 61, says he drinks more than 20 cups of coffee a day when he works. How does his body take it? Not too long ago, I mentioned another article, one where Wu Xuanyi said she drinks 8 cups of milk tea a day. I think Andy has easily one-upped that. Andy Lau and his Wandering Earth 2 co-star Wu Jing had been doing the rounds to promote their movie when they stopped by a show called Opening Remarks. That's where Andy revealed his coffee-indulging habit, saying he still drinks over 20 cups a day. Wu Jing was understandably shocked and asked, 20 cups? Are your age-defying looks a result of that? Andy went on to share that when he's on set and has nothing to do, he'll just make himself a cup of coffee. When asked if he gets heart palpitations, he said, nope. On the other hand, other stuff I can't take, like cold drinks. Coffee is something that my family scolds me about. I'm not allowed to drink it at home. Maybe that's why I like to work so much. Sharing more about his diet, Andy said that he has been a vegetarian for the past 9 years. He doesn't like food that's too greasy and abstains from carbs. He is also disciplined about working out and insists on running every day. According to the 8 Days article, netizens reacted to Andy's coffee revelations by commenting, 20 cups? Your heart is really strong. My hands start shaking after 5 cups. And, of course your family will scold you for drinking more than 20 cups a day. Some others were skeptical, saying he probably drinks decaf or uses really small cups. I drink 1, maybe 2 cups a day. I don't know what 20 would do to me, I might be flying off the walls. But I guess it also depends on how much sugar, if any, he's putting in them. But even with no sugar, I'm no coffee aficionado, but 20 is a bit much, no? Speaking of coffee, Xian recently spoke about wanting to open a coffee shop in Dali. 31-year-old Xian stars with Crystal Liu in the currently streaming Meet Yourself. In the drama, which revolves around the theme of healing, he plays a local Dali boy who quits his high-paying job in a different city and returns home to start a business. Shot on location in Dali, the place evidently left quite an impression on Xian as he recently spoke about starting a business there. According to Sena Entertainment, in a recent interview, Xian said that for a time there, after filming Meet Yourself in Dali, he thought about opening a coffee shop there, to continue to feel the peace and beauty there. However, he also expressed that now wasn't the time. Quote, I haven't gone to the point where I want to change professions yet. Unquote. On that note, it's Tuesday today, so time for another segment of Where's Marcus At? The title of the segment doesn't refer to where I'm at physically, it refers to where I'm at in the dramas I'm following. I'm currently following one drama. I'm on episode 4 of Unchained Love starring Dylan Huang and Yuki Chen, following it on iq.com where it's available with English subs. So I didn't watch very much of this drama last week, just 2 episodes, and that's because I spent most of my time watching the other drama I was following, Flight to You, which I managed to finish watching, albeit with quite a bit of skipping. And I'll explain why later, but as I do with all dramas that I finish watching, here's a final thoughts segment on it. No spoilers. Flight to You premiered on December 26th and aired the last of its 39 episodes on January 29th. It is available on YouTube with English subs. Seven Tan plays a skillful and confident pilot, Cheng Xiao, who is transferred from the cargo flight department to the passenger flight department of the airline she works for, Luzhou Airlines. It is a male-dominated work environment, and it clearly shows as Cheng Xiao has to overcome hurdles simply because of her gender. Wang Kai plays an icy senior pilot and instructor, Gu Nanting, who is strict but can be fair. He and Cheng Xiao start off on the wrong foot, but eventually she is able to de-ice the handsome Iceman. Other than the personal journeys that Cheng Xiao and Gu Nanting go through, the drama revolves around the lives of the flight crew of Luzhou Airlines, situations on the plane, situations on the ground, the head office, etc. Now, I was a little hesitant to pick up the drama, simply because aviation dramas have never really done it for me. I don't think I've ever finished one from beginning to end, except for Triumph in the Skies 1 and 2, but that was a TVB drama back when TVB was still half decent, and that was 10 years ago when I was trying to be a cadet pilot, so mindset was a little different. But that's neither here nor there. What I'm trying to say is that since then, I haven't seen an aviation drama that I didn't drop early on. What drew me to Flight to You was the Wang Kai-7 Tan pairing, two actors whose previous works I've enjoyed. And that really is the only thing I enjoyed about the drama, the lead actors and also some of the supporting actors' performances. 7 Tan always has a sublime way of getting audiences to root for her character, and she was no different in this one. I found myself rooting for Cheng Xiao very early on. Whether it's bubbly and cheery or moody and dismayed, 7 conveys those emotions very convincingly. Wang Kai was also terrific, as he always is. At first, Gu Nanting comes across as this really stiff disciplinarian, almost to the point of annoying, but later we see the reason for this. I think Wang Kai took us through Gu Nanting's emotional peaks and valleys really well. Overall, I think the two stars had great chemistry with each other. So why do aviation dramas rub me the wrong way? Well, there's one thing in common that many of them have, including Flight to You, and that's the way they portray these incredible situations involving difficult passengers. I just find that many times they're too over the top, and the way the crews solve the problems are often not convincing. With aviation rules and regulations, many of these situations really won't happen, and even if they do, they won't be solved the way the drama portrays it. In Flight to You, I also felt the flight crew were oftentimes a little too eager to help. I mean, there's being helpful, and then there's shelling out a few $1,000s of your own money to buy a ticket for a passenger who was grounded because you did your job as a pilot. If you're watching solely for the romance, you may have to wait a little, but it gets there eventually, and when it does, it's actually quite satisfactory. As of today, Flight to You has an average score of 6.7 from around 54,000 ratings on Douban. If I had to rate it, all things considered, would give it something similar, 6.6 for me. So those are my final thoughts on Flight to You. I will be picking up another Chinese drama to follow in a little while, not right away though because there are a few movies I want to check out first. And that's been another segment of Where's Marcus At? It also brings us to the end of this episode. This show wouldn't be possible without you guys tuning in, so I thank you all for your support. If you enjoyed it, do subscribe and don't forget to click that notification button for more updates. If you'd like to contribute, consider giving this video a super thanks. It is the heart-shaped button with the $sign below this video. All funds support the show and keep it going. Or you can check out my Patreon page, where for $1 more a month, you'll have access to perks like recaps, requests, and have your questions answered. So stay safe, and as always, I wish you clear blue skies, good health, and happiness. Until next time, cheers!